Hello, welcome to Federal Sector News. Today's episode deals with Veterans Affairs Department decision to terminate labor contracts. Today is August the 10th, 2025. I'm Merrick Masters, professor of business, commentator, podcaster, and author. You can find me at my YouTube channel. On March 27th of this year, President Trump issued Executive Order 14251, which addressed exclusions from federal labor management relations program. It identified several departments and agencies which would be removed from the protective ambit of the Federal Service Labor Management Relations statute on grounds of national security. Included among those added to the exclusion are the Department of State, the Department of Defense, the Department of Treasury, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Veterans Affairs. The Department of Veterans Affairs issued an announcement recently which stated that the following unions, effective immediately, pursuant to the aforementioned executive order, have had their contracts with the VA terminated. The unions included in this decision are the American Federation of Government Employees, the National Association of Government Employees, the National Federation of Federal Employees, the National Nurses United, and the Service Employees International Union. Police officers, firefighters, and security guards are not covered by this exclusionary executive order. Bargaining unit employees represented by these selected unions, the 5 enumerated in the announcement, represent a little over 370,000 employees among the 483,000 plus employees that are represented by unions in the Department of Veterans Affairs. The largest by far of the unions that represents federal employees is the American Federation of Government Employees. Some comments on this decision to terminate the contracts. Secretary Douglas Collins of the Veterans Affairs Department said that too often unions that represent VA employees fight against the best interests of veterans while protecting and rewarding bad workers. In response to this decision to terminate the contracts, AFGE National President Everett Kelly said that the Secretary's decision to rip up the negotiated union contract for a majority of its workforce is another clear example of retaliation against AFGE members for speaking out against the illegal anti-work and anti-veteran policies of the Trump administration. Here's a little bit more about what the AFGE had to say about the decision to terminate the contracts, and it noted that the letter sent to it notifying them of the termination of contracts stated that the VA no longer recognizes the AFGE as the exclusive representative of any other VA bargaining unit employee, including nurses, doctors, benefits specialists, housekeepers, electricians, painters, etc. It's a very comprehensive list of employees and their bargaining units that are excluded from the Federal Service Labor Management Relations statute. Here are some observations I have about this policy decision announced by the Trump administration. First, clearly the Trump administration has declared that unions in the federal service are incompatible with national security, broadly defined. This policy represents a far more significant extension of the policy pursued by President George W. Bush to change the nature of federal sector labor management relations in national security agencies such as the Department of Homeland Security after the tragic events of 9/11. Given the breadth of the presidential determination of national security under President Trump, federal unions are essentially incompatible in most federal agencies and departments. The Trump administration has asserted that some federal unions do not operate in the national interest. The Executive Order 14251 is part of a paradigm-shifting policy to supplant the independent civil service model of public administration with a presidential political control approach. Trump seeks a massive reset of the federal footprint, including appointment, employment, spending, regulation, and real estate. Stay tuned for more episodes updating you on federal sector news regarding labor management and personnel. Here's a little bit about myself. I hope you've enjoyed this update and stay tuned for more in the near future. Thank you and have a good day.